Have you got any ID on you, please?
Why would I need ID?
Have you got any ID on you, please?
Come on.
We're going to have to ask you to leave.
As such, if you detain me and search me, you will be the one that is liable because you'll be the one detaining and searching. You would be the one that is liable under the IOPC complaint procedures for disciplinary and dismissal. Pardon?
What's your name?
What's your name?
Liz.
Liz.
So I'm this police officer that's in charge
Oh,
of this
Chief Superintendent. Oh, okay, lovely.
Have you got any ID on you, please?
Why would I need ID?
Have you got any ID on you, please?
Come on.
We're going to have to ask you to leave.
Come on, Superintendent. You don't just go around demanding ID from the members of the public.
I certainly do if they're counter-terrorism risk.
Counter-terrorism risk? What makes it a counter-terrorism risk?
Filming our officers.
As I explained to the person on the bike, I don't even know who that is.
Okay,
But I'm just waiting for some marked vehicles to come in and out.
Sir, would you mind me asking, just asking, what are you doing here?
As I've just explained twice now, once to the person on the bike and one on to this lady.
Mate, listen. You can't really be outside police stations.
Okay, before you go ahead with the search, can I just say one more thing?
Yeah.
I would highly recommend that you look up a memo from the National Police Chiefs Council regarding people filming in public places, regarding social media vloggers and police stations. I would highly recommend it before you land yourself a lawsuit.
Listen.
And that's you do what you
feel comfortable with that.
You do what you got to do. You do what you got. I will not say now. I do not consent to any searches. I know lawfully I don't have to, but I want to make that clear.
Regardless of your ability to film things in a public setting,
right?
Obviously, you raise our awareness and our suspicion, particularly in an environment of severe CT risk.
And who are you? Sorry,
I'm Inspector Tarek McKinsey.
Inspector
Tarek McKinsey.
McKinsey. That's a cool name. I like that. And have you got a warrant number there?
Yeah, I do. 243581.
243501. Thank you. And do you have a warrant number? Sorry.
Mate, listen.
Instead
of being obstructive.
No, I'm not being obstructive. I'm trying to get relevant information.
Listen to me for a second, all right?
No, I don't have to listen to you, do I?
You don't.
Exactly.
Okay, fine.
So you give me your warrant number. Do you have a warrant number, Superintendent, please?
We're not going to engage with any further.
Listen.
Well, you are, because you're saying that you're going to search me, so you would have to give your information at that point anyway, wouldn't you?
Can you grab one of the uniform logo?
Yeah. And you're Charlie Wynn, so you're a constable, thank you. But, am I being detained at this moment? Am I currently detained?
Yeah, uniforms who are equipped and everything to do with you.
Okay, so I'm not detained?
Not at this precise moment.
Okay, not at this precise moment. Well, again, as I said, you've got smartphones. I would highly recommend you look up this memo, okay? This memo is a key piece of evidence in court on these lawsuits.
I'm not disputing the fact that you're not allowed to film in a public setting, but the fact that you're here and filming police vehicles.
No, but the memo clearly states that filming outside a police station is not enough grounds for a Section 43 search, okay? And that is the key point of evidence that will win me this lawsuit.
You're not just filming outside a police station, you've told a colleague you're filming vehicles, that's capturing the
marked
data
vehicles,
and things like that.
Marked vehicles.
Irrelevant.
No, we pay for them. Members of the public, as through our taxes, we pay for them. They're not secret information.
We can also search
they're not
you
secret
to look into that.
No. You have to have grounds to search me.
Yeah, I do.
No. You have to have objection. So you suspect me being a
terrorist?
terrorist?
You're also filming people police officers coming out who are not who are not wearing uniform.
No. You're making an assumption. You're making an assumption there.
The officer just came out and said you were filming as she exited.
Right, and do you know that I was filming her?
Well, I have that suspicion. Okay.
Okay.
That's enough for me to look into.
It's not. That's filming in public.
Look, we can debate this all day.
It's not a debate. The memo clearly says it, and the fact that I've made you aware of this memo is going to win me the lawsuit.
Look, that's absolutely fine.
It's absolutely fine.
It's fine for you to have that opinion.
It's not an opinion. It's fact. I've already got one lawsuit against the MPS for this exact reason.
Well, look, I'm not going to debate those situations. Okay. Is anyone available?
We're just going to ask a question if someone can pop down, but yeah. No, it should come out on the radio.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I might just stick around, to be honest. I might go. But
that's within your gift, right?
Well, apparently, because I'm not detained, but you suspect me of being a terrorist because you said you're going to detain me. You're waiting for a uniform to come and detain me. So clearly, you suspect me of being a terrorist.
We'd be more comfortable doing a search when we've got body-worn footage as well. All right.
So you're not going to detain me until the uniform gets here. You're just going to wait. At which point I could just walk away, potentially be a terrorist, as you're saying you suspect.
It's a developing situation.
It's not, because if you genuinely suspect me of being a terrorist, you would be physically detaining me, wouldn't you?
You're being provocative, in my opinion, and I think you're doing that on purpose.
No, I'm trying to reason with you, Inspector.
You're not being reasonable because you're interrupting me non-stop. I'm trying to talk, you keep cutting in.
You interrupt me as well.
No, I've let you speak. You've said you've made your piece. I've explained what we're looking to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's fine.
But it's not fine. That's the issue, Inspector, is that it's not fine. You cannot abuse. You used to have Section 44. You don't have to talk. You don't have to talk. Do you know you used to have Section 44? Do you know why that got repealed?
Section 44 of the Terrorism Act 2000 gave police the power to stop and search people or vehicles without needing any clear reason or suspicion. This made it highly controversial. The use of this power was stopped in 2010, and it was officially removed from the law by the Protection of Freedoms Act 2012.
We want to make sure officers are safe, so we want to take...
And I want to make sure members of the public are safe from tyrants like yourselves. So if you're going to abuse Section 43, I cannot stop you from doing that, obviously. And I won't resist you. I'm not going to aid you, but I won't resist you. And you will end up with a civil suit, and you will both be up on disciplinary matters.
We're going to wait till the informal. I think we've both said our piece here.
No, I haven't finished saying my piece, actually.
You're free to talk.
I know I'm free to talk. I have rights. You don't have to respond. You've said multiple times you're not going to continue engaging, yet you do. As I said, I've made you aware of the memo.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're refusing to even look it up. I've made you aware, and neither of you are making any sort of concerted effort to look up this memo, to double-check the facts before you get a uniformed officer down here to detain me and search me and abuse my human rights. No, you're abusing my rights.
Pulling out a phone and doing research right now. I don't know who you are. I don't know anything
you could get this constable to do it. You could get the chief superintendent to do it.
A little bit under control. That's absolutely fine.
I will not be bullied by a threat of a search from exercising my right. You know we have human rights in this country. Do you remember your oath? Do either of you remember your oath? No, I doubt that you do you?
We're not going to be responsible.
You don't have to, but I can still talk and I can still ask questions.
Okay.
Neither of you remember your oath. You swore an oath to the crown of this country to uphold the human rights of the people. I have an Article 10 right to exercise my freedom of expression. That's exactly what I'm doing.
You don't have the right to film police officers.
I absolutely do. Anywhere in a public place, yes, I do. So you're going to come. You're going to come and get a uniform to come with a body-worn camera who has the right to record me, but I don't have the right to record you.
Recording us?
Yeah, but she just said I don't have the right to. Which I absolutely... You just said you don't have the right to record police officers.
You've raised our suspicions that
Well,
you're
raising my suspicions right now of absolute tyrannical...
The auditor tried to explain this to the inspector, but it didn't seem to register. So let's break it down clearly. Why do the officer's own actions suggest this was more about pressure than a real counterterrorism concern? Because if the inspector genuinely believed there was a terrorism risk, they had the authority to act straight away, detain and search the auditor on the spot. Instead, the inspector chose to wait for another officer. That delay shows there was no urgent threat. And without that urgency, it doesn't line up with the level of suspicion needed for a terrorism-related stop. Now, let's look at how the uniformed officers dealt with the situation.
Okay, and I think that's only fair. So I came here, as I explained to the first person that approached, I came here to try and get some shots of marked vehicles coming in and out, like this one. If you'll see it wasn't being obstructed, I would get a nice sweep shot of a marked vehicle going in. Right? So let me finish. I've advised the Chief Superintendent and the Inspector that there is a memo from the National Police Chiefs Council, okay, that clearly explains vloggers and social media auditors filming police stations, and that it is not to be used as a ground for a Section 43 search, okay? Now, obviously, I've just heard the inspector say that it's down to you and it is ultimately your decision whether to do a search. As such, if you detain me and search me, you will be the one that is liable, because you'll be the one detaining and searching. You would be the one that is liable under the IOPC complaint procedures for disciplinary and dismissal, okay? So I would advise that, yes, your superiors are suggesting that you do something, but I would suggest that you have some common sense, at least look up this memo before you take any further action. I'm not going to go anywhere, but I would suggest that you look up this memo before you put yourself in a bad situation because a chief superintendent and an inspector is asking you to. Okay, because you are the one that is ultimately responsible for your actions as a constable. And they don't have the balls to detain me and search me themselves.
Okay, are you aware that there's not a lot of marked vehicles that come in and out?
I wasn't aware of that, no, but I appreciate you telling me. I didn't know that because I've not been here before.
You've not been here before?
No.
Okay.
So how would I know that?
So were you not here earlier?
No.
No.
No. Well, have you had somebody else here filming today?
Well, I've just been told that you were here earlier.
No, I've been here...
Why are you filming?
Pardon?
Why are you filming?
Because I'm interested.
Okay.
You know, we all have individual interests, don't we?
I know everyone tends to have like their own different reasons.
Absolutely, exactly. You know, and I have the right to freedom of expression in this country.
Exactly.
You know, and I absolutely have that right. I'm not trespassing onto your secure areas. I was stood out there. I clearly filmed the fact that you got the authorised vehicles only and the police personnel only sign. And so I made a point to point that out for my footage. And the fact that I'm not going past that, I stood there to film through. All I could see was a forensics unit. And I said, and I was like,
just an officer coming out of their personal vehicle, can you not film that?
I mean, no, because I need to keep the camera pointed at you guys right now.
You can point at me, just not at their personal vehicle.
I'm not going to point it directly at that. I'm not going. Okay, I'm not directly pointing it. I'm pointing it at you. If that's in the background, it's in the background.
That's their personal vehicle.
It is.
And you're getting their registration plate on their face.
I will try to blur it out if
Will you?
possible. Yeah.
I don't believe you.
issue we have.
No, because you were polite about it, I will try to blur it out, depending if I can, because sometimes, depending on the shot with you two stood there, it's not always possible.
Our sort of standpoint, the only real issue that we have, right, is the fact that you're obviously free to film whatever you want. Right?
Absolutely, thank you, I appreciate
The
that.
only issue comes when you're filming officers not in uniform, leaving in their personal.
But again, you're making assumptions that that's what I'm doing.
I'm not making an assumption or anything. I'm just
Exactly.
saying that the problem stands when that thing
Okay,
happens.
but again, that's not illegal,
So,
is it?
Up until then,
It's not illegal to do that. I can record every personal vehicle coming in and out.
questions, that's all.
And you can ask questions. I don't like the fact
That's
that.
what we're here doing.
But I don't like the fact that. No.
We're just here having a chat.
Yeah, but we are, but they weren't.
That's about your
I